Alright, in lesson 1.5, this is problem solving using algebraic models. So in this lesson, our problem solving plan is a couple of the things that you need to identify is first of all, create a verbal model. What's the question actually looking for? The second thing is you need to take the math sentence and then translate it into an algebraic model. So first problem solving question we have is, it says a bullet train runs between Japanese cities of Osaka and Fukuoka, a distance of 550 kilometers. When it makes no stops, it takes 2 hours and 15 minutes to make the trip. What's the average speed of the bullet train? Well, first of all, you need to refer back to some of your, remember that the distance equals rate times time. So then you need to ask yourself, what is the actual thing that we're looking for? So the question is what is the average speed of the bullet train? So that is, would that be the distance, would that be the rate, or that would be the time? And anytime it's referring to the average, so R is going to be our average speed. Miles per hour, kilometers per hour in this case. Then after we complete that, then we need to start looking for clues inside the question to see if it gives us the other pieces that we're looking for. So for example, 550 kilometers. It says the distance of. So in this case, the distance would be 550 kilometers. The next part, it says 2 hours and 15 minutes. So the only piece we're looking for now would be the time. And our time is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, another way to write 2 hours and 15 minutes would be 2.25. So the distance is 550. The rate is what we're looking for, and our time is 2.25. So the last step is just to solve it. And you get an R equals 244.4. That's your final answer. All right, next example. It says you own a lawn care business. You want to know how much you spend on gasoline to travel to out-of-town clients. In a typical week, you drive 660 miles and use 40 gallons of gasoline. Gasoline costs $1.25 per gallon, and your truck's fuel efficiency is 21 miles per gallon on the highway and 13 miles per gallon in town. So first of all, remember, the easiest way to do this is we need to come up with a verbal model. So first of all, how would we calculate? We got 600 miles. So the miles could be, so in this case, we would use total miles is equal to the amount of gallons that we use times our fuel efficiency. So for example, if we were driving in town, then since we want to go to out-of-town clients, then we want to know how many people are going to go out of town. So we're going to call that X. So in this case, X would be our gallons that we're looking for. Okay? And depending on how many gallons we use, that'll tell us how many miles we go. So for example, for our out-of-town clients, we burn 13 miles per gallon. So if we take 13 times 2, we would burn 26 gallons of gas. Or we would have went 26 miles on 2 gallons of gas. So gallons, we're going to call it for our highway customers times our fuel efficiency for our highway. Okay? And that will give us our out-of-town customers. that we drove in town, we're going to need to know how many gallons we burned in town, and we're going to take that times our fuel efficiency in town. Okay? So, how many total miles did we drive? Well, if you look at our problem, the total miles that we drove were 600. How many gallons did we burn just in town? Well, we know how many total gallons we burned. We burned a total of 40 gallons of gasoline. Okay? So our gallons that we use in the highway, we don't know that. So we're going to call that variable X. Our fuel efficiency on the highway, fuel efficiency is 21 miles per gallon on the highway. Plus, how many gallons did we burn in town? Well, if we burn a total of 40 gallons of gas, and we used X of those for our highway customers, then our town customers would be 40 minus X. And our fuel efficiency for in town is 13. So, now all we have to do is solve this thing for X. So X times 21 gives us 21X plus 40, then we have to do the distributive property. So 40 times 13 would give us 520 minus 13x. Okay. Since we've got two x's on the same side, we need to combine those. So 21 minus 13x would give us 8x plus 520. Then we subtract 520. 600 minus 520 would give us 80 equals 8x. Divide both sides by 8, and x equals 10. But the very last step that you need to do is always make sure that you've answered the question. And the question is, you want to know how much money you spent on gasoline to travel to out-of-town clients. Well, if you burn 10 gallons of gasoline, and it cost $1.25 each, to answer the question, you would multiply those. So you spent $12.50 on gasoline to your out-of-town customers. Okay. This concludes lesson 1.5. Make sure you complete your quick check today and your assignment.